Close your eyes for a moment and ask yourself, if I were already a billionaire, how would I feel? How would I move through the world? What thoughts would occupy my mind? You see, wealth is not a number in a bank account, it is a state of being. The mistake most people make is that they believe they must first acquire riches before they can feel secure, powerful, and free. But the truth is, you must first become the thing you desire within. Only then will the world shape itself around your assumption. Right now, in this very moment, step into the consciousness of a billionaire. Let go of every thought of limitation. Breathe in the feeling of absolute financial freedom. A billionaire does not worry about bills. A billionaire does not chase opportunities. They create them. They walk with an effortless confidence, knowing the world bends to their will. They do not ask, can I afford this? They decide, is this aligned with my vision? Your current circumstances are irrelevant. Wealth is not about effort. It is about identity. If you assume yourself to be wealthy, the world will reflect it back to you in ways you cannot predict. So act as if. Carry yourself with the quiet assurance of one who already possesses immense wealth. Speak as one who commands abundance. Feel the security, the freedom, the joy of having more than enough. Let this feeling consume you and watch as reality conforms to your inner world. Do not wait. You are already it. Wealth is not something external that you must chase, nor is it something that only a few are destined to have. It is, first and foremost, a state of consciousness. The greatest mistake people make is believing that money is the cause of wealth, when, in truth, it is only the effect. The true source of wealth lies in the mind of the individual, in the assumptions they hold about themselves and the world. The external world merely reflects the internal state. If you believe you are lacking, if you constantly affirm that money is hard to come by, then your reality must align with that belief. But if you shift your consciousness to one of abundance, knowing that wealth is already yours, then the outer world will have no choice but to conform to that inner knowing. You must ask yourself, what does it truly mean to be wealthy? Is it the mere possession of money? Or is it the feeling of security, freedom, and limitless opportunity? The one who is wealthy in consciousness walks with a different energy. They move with assurance, knowing that all their needs are met. They do not dwell on fears of financial loss or scarcity, because their sense of abundance does not come from a bank account, but from their unwavering belief in their own prosperity. Look at the way the wealthy think. They do not operate from a place of desperation. They do not see wealth as something to be obtained, but as something they already embody. A billionaire does not wake up in the morning doubting whether they have money. They know it is theirs. Even before they had tangible riches, they carried the consciousness of abundance within them. This is the key. You must first become internally rich before you can ever experience it externally. Most people live in a state of waiting. They say, when I have money, then I will feel successful. When I am rich, then I will act confidently. But this is the very thinking that keeps wealth out of reach. You must reverse this order. Act as if you already possess all the riches you desire. Speak, think, and move through life as one who is already abundant. Feel the security, the confidence, the peace that comes with knowing you are financially free. This feeling is the seed that, when nurtured, blossoms into actual wealth. Do not let your senses deceive you. The world may present temporary evidence of lack, but this is only a reflection of past thinking. If you continue to focus on what appears to be missing, you only reinforce its existence in your life. Instead, shift your attention inward. Dwell in the feeling of already having what you desire. Live in the state of abundance before any physical proof arrives. The moment you accept wealth as your reality within, the world outside must conform. Consider those who have achieved massive wealth. It was never just about their actions. It was their mindset. They saw themselves as creators of wealth, not victims of circumstance. They believed in their ability to generate prosperity, and so it became their reality. Even when faced with failure or temporary setbacks, they remained steadfast in their belief in abundance. This is the difference between those who attain great riches and those who remain in struggle, the assumption they hold about themselves. If you wish to see wealth in your life, begin by cultivating it in your consciousness. Speak only thoughts of prosperity. Align your emotions with the reality you desire. Do not wish for wealth, assume it. Do not seek abundance, embody it. When you fully accept that you are already rich in mind, the outer world will rearrange itself to match that truth. The money, the opportunities, the success, they will all flow naturally to the one who knows beyond any doubt that they are already wealthy. The world around you is nothing more than a reflection of your internal state. Every condition, every experience, every so-called limitation is merely the outpicturing of the assumptions you hold within. If you look upon the world and see lack, it is not because lack truly exists. It is because your mind has been conditioned to perceive it. The mistake most people make is believing that what they see with their eyes is the ultimate reality. They accept their present circumstances as fixed and unchangeable, never realizing that they are the ones creating and sustaining these conditions through their assumptions. Lack is an illusion. It has no power except the power you give it through your belief. If you assume that money is scarce, that opportunities are limited, that success is difficult to attain, then life will continuously present you with evidence to confirm those assumptions. But if you refuse to accept the appearance of lack and instead persist in the assumption of abundance, your outer world must eventually reflect that new state. You must train yourself to see beyond appearances. The evidence of scarcity that you observe is nothing more than the echo of past thoughts and beliefs. It is not a permanent reality. It is simply a manifestation of old conditioning. If you continue to accept it as true, you only reinforce it. But the moment you withdraw your belief in it, the moment you decide that abundance is your reality, the illusion of lack must begin to dissolve. Think of it this way. When you look in a mirror, you see a reflection of yourself. If you frown, the image frowns back. If you smile, the image smiles. The mirror does not create your expression, it only reflects it. In the same way, the world does not create your state of being, it only mirrors what you assume to be true. If you walk around believing that life is hard, that money is difficult to come by, that success is reserved for others, then the world must reflect those beliefs back to you. But if you adopt the assumption that abundance flows to you effortlessly, that opportunities are always unfolding in your favor, that wealth is already yours, then your external world will begin to mirror those truths instead. Most people live as if they are powerless. They see their circumstances as something happening to them rather than something flowing from them. They react to what they see rather than shaping what they see through their inner world. But you are not a victim of circumstances, you are the creator of them. The moment you accept this truth, you take back your power. You must develop a kind of inner blindness to appearances that do not serve you. If your bank account shows a low balance, do not dwell on it. If opportunities seem scarce, do not accept it as your reality. Instead, fix your mind on the abundance that is already yours in the unseen. Assume that wealth is on its way to you, that doors are opening, that all your needs are already met. Hold to this assumption with unwavering faith, regardless of what the outer world appears to show. The world will test you. It will present obstacles, delays, and situations that seem to contradict your new assumption. This is where most people falter. They see the temporary evidence of lack and allow doubt to creep in. But those who persist in their assumption of abundance, even in the face of seeming scarcity, are the ones who see their reality transform. What you assume to be real will harden into fact. The only question is, what are you assuming? Ignore the illusion of lack. Do not give it power by accepting it as true. See yourself as already abundant, already successful, already in possession of all that you desire. The moment you do, the world will have no choice but to reflect that truth back to you. Reality does not respond to begging, pleading, or wishing. It responds to command. The person who truly understands their creative power does not ask the universe for permission to be wealthy, successful, or fulfilled. They decide. They assume the state of already having what they desire, and they act in alignment with that certainty. This is the difference between those who struggle and those who thrive. One waits for circumstances to change, while the other directs reality itself. A billionaire does not sit around hoping that opportunities will come, or that success will somehow find them. They move with confidence, as though the outcome is already assured. They do not doubt, nor do they entertain thoughts of failure. Their mindset is one of certainty, not desperation. They understand that the external world is merely a reflection of their internal assumptions, so they do not allow fear or uncertainty to take root. Instead, they assume that everything they desire is already theirs and they act accordingly. Most people live their lives in a state of waiting. They wait for the right moment, the right opportunity, the right sign before they take action. They tell themselves, if only I had more money, more connections, more experience, then I could be successful. But in doing so, they delay their own success indefinitely. The truth is, you do not need anything external to change before you step into the reality you desire. You need only shift your assumption. The moment you decide that you are already successful, already wealthy, already living the life you desire, everything around you begins to rearrange itself to match that assumption. Look at the way the powerful move through the world. They do not ask for permission. They do not seek validation, they command. They walk into a room with an energy that says, I belong here. They do not shrink, hesitate, or question whether they are worthy. They assume their success and the world responds accordingly. This is not arrogance. It is simply an unshakable belief in their own power. And this same power exists within you. If you wish to experience wealth, you must stop acting like someone who lacks it. You must stop thinking, speaking, and behaving as if you are at the mercy of circumstances. The moment you declare with full conviction that you are already the person you wish to be, you set in motion a series of events that must bring your assumption into reality. The key is to hold firm to this assumption, regardless of what your senses tell you. The world may present temporary evidence that contradicts your new belief, but this is only a reflection of your past assumption. Do not waver, do not fall back into the habit of doubting yourself. If a billionaire loses money, they do not suddenly believe they are poor. They know that wealth is their natural state, and so they easily create it again. They do not panic because their assumption of abundance remains unchanged. This is the level of certainty you must develop. Do not beg for success, do not wish for wealth, do not hope for better circumstances. Decide. Step into the feeling of already having what you desire. Walk, speak, and think as though your success is inevitable. When you do this, the universe must align with your assumption. Reality is not something you passively experience, it is something you command. And the moment you fully embrace this truth, everything you desire will begin to move toward you. If you were already a billionaire, how would you move through the world? Would you hesitate? Would you doubt yourself? Would you shrink in the presence of opportunity? Of course not. You would move with certainty, knowing that success is your natural state. You would not question whether you are deserving. You would assume it as a fact. The way you think, speak, and act would reflect the abundance you already possess. And that is exactly the mindset you must embody now. Most people make the mistake of waiting for external proof before they allow themselves to feel wealthy, confident, or successful. They tell themselves, once I have the money, I'll feel abundant. Once I have the success, I'll feel worthy. But this is entirely backward. You must first assume the state internally, and only then will it manifest externally. Reality is not something you chase, it is something you align with. A billionaire does not move through life in fear of losing what they have. They do not cling to money as if it might disappear. They operate from a place of security and ease, knowing that wealth flows effortlessly to them. They do not doubt whether they can afford something, they assume they can. They do not question whether they deserve luxury, success, or influence. They live as though it is already theirs. Their every action, every word, every thought reinforces the reality they believe in. Now ask yourself, if you were already in possession of everything you desire, how would you behave? Would you carry yourself with confidence? Would you speak with authority? Would you engage with others as an equal rather than feeling inferior? Would you walk into a room knowing that you belong? The answer is obvious. You would move differently, you would think differently, you would embody a different state of being. And if that is how you would act once you have achieved your desires, why wait? Step into that version of yourself now. Your current reality is simply a reflection of past assumptions. If you continue to carry yourself as someone who lacks wealth, success, or opportunity, then life will mirror those beliefs back to you. But the moment you shift your internal state and embody the mindset of one who already has it, the world must adjust accordingly. What you assume to be true eventually solidifies into fact. This is not wishful thinking, it is the law of consciousness. Think of a billionaire's daily habits. They do not waste time dwelling on problems, they focus on solutions. They do not complain about circumstances, they take control of them. They do not operate from a mindset of need, they operate from a mindset of abundance. They are not waiting for permission to succeed, they have already decided that success is theirs. And because they have assumed that state, everything in their reality conforms to it. This is the level of certainty you must develop. You must move through life as though you already have what you desire, not with arrogance, but with quiet, unshakable confidence. When you speak, let your words reflect your belief in your own success. When you make decisions, let them come from a place of certainty, not hesitation. When you interact with others, do so from a position of strength, not need. The moment you start embodying the mindset of one who already has it, you shift into alignment with that reality. Opportunities will arise, doors will open, and people will begin to treat you differently. Not because the world has changed, but because you have. The world can only reflect what you assume to be true. Move now as the person you wish to become, and soon you will no longer be acting, it will be your reality. Gratitude and confidence are the twin forces that unlock the doors of wealth. Most people believe that they must first receive something before they can be grateful for it, but this is not the case. True wealth begins with the unseen before it takes form in the material world. It must first exist in the consciousness of the one who desires it. To receive wealth, you must feel grateful for it before it appears, as if it is already yours. This is the secret that transforms desire into reality. Gratitude is not merely a polite expression of thanks. It is a powerful state of being. It signals to the universe that you have already received what you seek. When you are grateful, you are affirming that what you desire already exists. Even if it is not yet visible to your physical eyes, the world responds to this certainty. Just as a radio must be tuned to the correct frequency to receive a signal, your consciousness must be tuned to the frequency of abundance before wealth can flow into your life. Gratitude is the signal that tells the universe you are ready to receive. Most people operate from a state of lack. They say, I will be grateful once I have more money, once I have success, once I have the life I desire. But this is a flawed approach. To truly unlock wealth, you must reverse this pattern. You must feel gratitude first before any external evidence appears. You must trust in the unseen, knowing that what you desire is already moving toward you. Confidence is the second key. To manifest wealth, you must not only be grateful for the unseen, but you must also have unshakable confidence that it will appear. Confidence is the unwavering belief that what you desire is already yours. It is the refusal to entertain doubt, no matter what your current circumstances may suggest. The person who commands wealth does not hope or wish, they know. They walk through life with an assurance that their desires are already fulfilled. Consider how a billionaire approaches money. They do not wonder if they will have enough. They do not stress over whether opportunities will come. They move with certainty because they have already assumed abundance as their natural state, and because they embody that state, the world reflects it back to them. You must do the same. Even if your external reality does not yet show signs of wealth, you must remain confident that it is unfolding in ways you cannot yet see. Many people sabotage their own success by constantly questioning whether their desires will ever materialize. They allow fear and doubt to creep in, and as a result, they push their desires further away. But when you hold firm in gratitude and confidence, you accelerate the process. You send a clear signal to the universe. I already have it. I am certain of it. I am grateful for it. And the universe responds in kind. To develop this mindset, begin by shifting your focus. Instead of dwelling on what you lack, train yourself to feel gratitude for what is already on its way. Speak as if it is already done. Walk as if you are already in possession of the life you desire. Do not wait for wealth to appear before you feel grateful. Feel grateful now and wealth will follow. Do not wait for success to come before you feel confident. Embody confidence now and success will find you. Gratitude and confidence are the forces that open every door. They transform the unseen into the seen. They align you with the reality you wish to experience. The moment you adopt this mindset, the world must shift to reflect it. Wealth is not something you chase, it is something you allow. And the way to allow it is through gratitude and unwavering confidence in the unseen. Most people spend their lives fixated on how their desires will manifest. They constantly analyze, strategize, and attempt to control every step of the journey. But this obsession with the how is precisely what keeps them stuck. They believe that if they cannot see the path clearly, then their desire must be far away. But this is an illusion. The path is irrelevant. The when, where, and how do not matter. What matters is your assumption that it is already yours. Wealth is not something you must struggle to obtain, it is something you align with. The moment you assume the feeling of already having it, the way to it is set in motion. You do not need to force it, chase it, or overanalyze it. You simply need to trust in the now, knowing that it is already done. When you truly accept this, you free yourself from worry. You no longer look at your current circumstances and judge them as obstacles. Instead, you understand that everything is unfolding perfectly, even if you cannot yet see the full picture. Consider how nature operates. A seed does not worry about how it will grow into a towering tree. It simply is. It exists in perfect trust that the sun, the rain, and the soil will support its growth. It does not need to understand the details. It simply follows its nature. Your wealth, your success, your desires, they already exist in potential. The only thing required of you is to embody the state of already having them. Many people make the mistake of trying to control the process. They believe they must take specific actions, meet certain people, or be in the right place at the right time. But this kind of thinking comes from doubt. It suggests that they do not fully trust that what they desire is already there. If you truly believed it was already done, would you worry about how it will come? Would you stress over whether it will happen? Of course not. You would simply rest in the certainty that it is unfolding in the perfect way. This is why detachment is essential. Detachment does not mean giving up on your desire. It means releasing the need to control the journey. It means no longer obsessing over when or how it will arrive. It means understanding that once you assume the feeling of already having it, the universe will arrange everything for you. Unexpected opportunities will arise. The right people will be drawn to you. Doors will open effortlessly. But this only happens when you release the need to force it. The person who is truly wealthy in mind does not chase money. They do not spend their days anxiously trying to predict where their next opportunity will come from. They assume wealth, and so it flows to them. They trust in the unseen, and so the unseen takes form. They do not concern themselves with the details because they know that all details are taken care of the moment they shift their consciousness. You must adopt this same mindset. Act as though the wealth you seek is already yours. Speak as though it is done. Move through your day with the confidence of one who already possesses it. And most importantly, release the need to figure out how it will happen. Let life surprise you. Let it unfold in ways beyond what your logical mind can conceive. When you detach from the how and trust in the now, you shift into a state of ease. You no longer struggle because you no longer resist. You no longer seek validation from the outside world because you have already claimed your abundance within. And because you have assumed it internally, it must manifest externally. Wealth is not about chasing, forcing, or analyzing. It is about knowing. It is about trusting. It is about living as though it is already yours, because it is. The moment you accept this, the way will unfold effortlessly before you. Wealth is not something you chase. It is something you embody. It is not found in effort, struggle, or endless planning, but in the deep assumption that it is already yours. The billionaire mindset is not about money, it is about state of being. When you ignore the illusion of lack, command reality rather than beg for it. Move as one who already has it and embrace gratitude with unwavering confidence. You unlock the doors of abundance. Detach from the how and trust in the now. Your wealth is not a distant dream. It exists here and now, waiting for you to claim it. The moment you fully assume this state, life will shift to reflect it. You do not need to force or chase. You simply need to become. And as you do, the world will yield to your inner certainty. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something about the journey of love and the trials it brings. There's a unique kind of pain that comes when someone who claimed to love you begins to act like you no longer exist. That silence, it's deafening, and it leaves you questioning everything. But here's the truth: love that is true does not waver when storms come. If a man loves you deeply, his actions will prove it, not just his words. But when the warmth of his affection suddenly grows cold, don't lose yourself in the frost. This is your moment to pause and reflect. Silence, my friends, is its own language. When someone stops showing up in your life, they are telling you something, even if they're not speaking. Don't run from the message, lean in and listen. Is it fear holding him back? Doubt? Or has his heart moved elsewhere? Whatever the answer, you deserve clarity. Now, let's talk about you. In moments like these, it's easy to feel like the problem lies within you, as if you did something wrong. But hear me, your worth is not tied to someone's decision to stay or walk away. You were valuable before him, and you'll remain valuable without him. But don't ignore the questions this brings. Ask him directly. Look him in the eyes and demand the respect of an honest answer. Is it prideful? No, it's strength. You have every right to understand where you stand. And if he can't give you the dignity of a truthful conversation, then that silence is your answer too. Pain like this isn't meant to break you, it's meant to teach you. It's a refining fire. You'll come out stronger, wiser, and more in tune with what you deserve. Do not fear letting go of someone who cannot or will not fight for you. So if he starts ignoring you, if he loves you deeply but then becomes distant, remember this: love yourself enough to keep moving forward. Don't chase, don't beg, and don't diminish your light trying to illuminate someone who refuses to see. The greatest strength you'll ever show is walking away with your dignity intact. And when you do, you'll find that the world has a way of filling the space he left with someone or something far greater than what you ever imagined. Real love, the kind that truly stands the test of time, is not a fleeting emotion or a momentary spark. It is not something that ebbs and flows without reason. Instead, love manifests as a steady force, showing up day after day, no matter the circumstances. It is rooted in consistency, a foundation that does not crumble when tested by life's inevitable storms. When love is real, it doesn't vanish overnight. If it does, it is often a sign that something deeper is at play, something that deserves careful thought and honest introspection. Love, in its truest form, is an enduring presence. It is the gentle yet powerful reminder that you matter, that you are seen, valued, and cherished. This presence doesn't falter when challenges arise. Rather, it becomes even more steadfast, providing reassurance in moments of doubt. Love isn't simply about the grand gestures or fleeting moments of passion. It's about the quiet consistency, the day-to-day acts of care and commitment that form the backbone of a strong relationship. It's the text in the middle of a busy day, the willingness to listen when you've had a rough time, and the effort to make you feel included, respected, and understood. When love suddenly disappears, it raises questions that must be answered. Relationships are dynamic, and changes are natural, but an abrupt withdrawal of affection or attention is rarely random. It signals that there is a shift, perhaps in priorities, emotions, or circumstances. It may stem from external pressures, internal struggles, or a misalignment in the connection itself. But no matter the cause, such a change warrants exploration. Ignoring the signs or making excuses for the inconsistency only delays the truth and deepens the wound. Consistency in love also reflects emotional maturity. A person who truly loves you understands that their actions carry weight. They recognize that love is not about convenience, it's about showing up even when it's difficult. When someone's affection is inconsistent, it can feel like the ground beneath you is unstable, leaving you second-guessing your worth and the strength of the bond you share. Real love doesn't do that. It provides stability, not uncertainty. It's important to remember that consistency in love is not about perfection. No one is immune to moments of weakness, frustration, or doubt. But even in these moments, real love makes the effort to communicate and repair. It doesn't retreat into silence or indifference. It seeks to bridge gaps, not widen them. When someone loves you genuinely, their actions are guided by a commitment to nurture the relationship, even when things aren't easy. On the other hand, when love vanishes suddenly, it can feel like a betrayal. It leaves you questioning everything. Was it real? Did I miss the signs? Is this my fault? These are natural questions, but the answers often lie in understanding the nature of the other person's feelings and capacity for love. Sometimes people enter relationships with good intentions but lack the emotional resilience or clarity to sustain them. Their love may have been genuine at first, but without consistency, it struggles to endure. This doesn't necessarily mean you are unworthy of love, it simply means they were not equipped to offer the kind of love you deserve. The vanishing of love can also reveal deeper issues within the relationship. Was there unspoken resentment, unmet expectations, or a lack of alignment in long-term goals? These undercurrents often remain hidden until a breaking point is reached. The sudden disappearance of affection, while painful, can serve as an opportunity to uncover and address these issues. It forces you to confront the truth, however uncomfortable it may be, and decide what is best for your well-being. Love that is consistent provides a sense of safety. It tells you that you are valued for who you are, not just for what you bring to the table in fleeting moments. It's not transactional or conditional, it's steady and enduring. When this consistency is missing, it's a clear signal to evaluate the relationship. Sometimes, this means having difficult conversations to seek clarity and understanding. Other times, it means recognizing that the love you thought was unshakable has run its course. True love does not leave you in limbo. It does not make you question your worth or wonder where you stand. It is a constant, unwavering presence, even when circumstances are less than ideal. If love vanishes suddenly, it is a sign to look beyond the surface and understand what lies beneath. Whether it's a momentary struggle or a deeper disconnect, the revelation of inconsistency is an opportunity for growth, self-reflection, and ultimately the pursuit of the kind of love that truly shows up day after day without fail. Silence is one of the most powerful forms of communication, often conveying what words cannot. When someone begins to ignore you, it may feel confusing, even painful, but it is important to recognize that this silence is not empty. It speaks volumes. When actions shift and the connection you once shared seems to waver, the truth starts to emerge, even if it's not being openly discussed. Ignoring you, though indirect, is a form of communication, a message sent without words but with undeniable impact. Human relationships thrive on interaction. We connect, bond, and express care through words, gestures, and consistent effort. When that flow of communication stops or significantly changes, it signals a shift in the dynamics. This shift can be subtle at first: a missed text, a delayed reply, or a lack of engagement in conversations. But as it continues, it grows louder, like an echo that refuses to fade. It is in these moments of silence that the truth begins to surface. Ignoring someone isn't always about cruelty. Sometimes it reflects internal struggles, unspoken feelings, or an avoidance of confrontation. Regardless of the reason, it's important to understand that silence is never neutral. It always carries meaning. When someone chooses to ignore you, they are expressing something, whether consciously or unconsciously. Perhaps they are unsure of how to articulate their feelings or are wrestling with emotions they themselves do not fully understand. Maybe they are overwhelmed, confused, or fearful of addressing an issue directly. Or in some cases, their silence may reveal a lack of interest or investment in the relationship. While the reasons behind the silence may vary, the effect it has on the recipient is often consistent: a sense of uncertainty, hurt, and longing for clarity. Silence can be a tool of avoidance. It allows someone to sidestep difficult conversations or avoid addressing conflicts. However, avoiding communication only delays the inevitable. The unspoken tension builds, creating a chasm that grows wider with time. This gap can feel like rejection, leaving you to fill the silence with assumptions and self-doubt. You might start questioning yourself, wondering if you did something wrong or if you're no longer valued. These thoughts can be emotionally exhausting, but it's crucial to remember that the silence is not about you, it's about the person choosing to withhold communication. On the other hand, silence can also be a reflection of someone's inability to process their emotions. Not everyone is equipped to handle confrontation or articulate their thoughts. For some, withdrawing feels safer than engaging in a vulnerable exchange. While this may explain their behavior, it does not excuse the impact it has on you. Relationships require mutual respect and effort, and silence can undermine the trust and connection that are essential to any bond. When actions change, when the calls stop, the texts become sparse, or the person you care about begins to distance themselves, it's a sign that something has shifted beneath the surface. Silence is rarely random. It's a signal that something needs attention, whether it's an unspoken issue, a change in feelings, or a personal struggle the other person is facing. Ignoring you may not be the healthiest way for them to communicate, but it is still a form of expression that demands your attention. It's important to approach silence with both clarity and self-respect. If someone is ignoring you, resist the urge to chase them or fill the void with endless attempts to reconnect. Instead, take a step back and assess the situation. Ask yourself, what is this silence telling me? Is it revealing a deeper issue in the relationship? Is it showing me that this person is unable or unwilling to provide the communication and connection I deserve? Sometimes the silence is a gift, exposing the truth that words have been concealing. In responding to silence, choose strength and self-awareness over desperation. Seek clarity if you feel it's warranted. Ask the questions that need to be asked. But be prepared for the possibility that the answers may not be what you hope for. Sometimes silence is a sign that it's time to let go, to release the hold you have on someone who is no longer holding on to you. Silence speaks loudly because it forces us to confront reality. It strips away the distractions and highlights what truly matters. While it can be painful, it also provides an opportunity for growth and self-reflection. Ignoring you may be their way of communicating, but how you respond to that silence defines your strength and self-worth. Use it as a chance to realign with what you truly deserve: a connection built on openness, respect, and consistent care. Silence may speak loudly, but your response can speak even louder. Your worth is an intrinsic part of who you are. It is not determined by the opinions, actions, or recognition of others. When someone suddenly stops valuing you or withdraws from a relationship, it can feel like a personal blow. But the truth is, their inability to see your value says more about them than it does about you. Your worth is not tied to their behavior, nor does it diminish because of their lack of recognition. To tether your self-worth to external validation is to hand over control of your sense of self to others, leaving you vulnerable to their whims and insecurities. True self-worth must come from within. It's natural to seek validation. As humans, we are wired to crave connection and approval. Positive reinforcement from those we care about feels good and can affirm our actions or choices. However, problems arise when that external validation becomes the primary source of your self-esteem. If your sense of value hinges entirely on how someone else perceives or treats you, then their sudden withdrawal can shake you to the core. You might find yourself questioning your worth, replaying moments in your mind, wondering what you did wrong or why you are no longer enough for them. These thoughts are painful, but they stem from a fundamental misunderstanding of where true self-worth lies. Your value is not negotiable. It does not fluctuate based on someone's recognition or lack thereof. Just as a diamond remains valuable whether or not it is appreciated by the person holding it, your worth remains intact regardless of how others treat you. People's actions are often a reflection of their own internal struggles, limitations, or changing priorities. Their inability to see your value may have nothing to do with you and everything to do with their own fears, distractions, or misunderstandings. When someone suddenly stops appreciating you, it is easy to fall into the trap of seeking answers from them. You may feel an urge to explain yourself, prove your worth, or convince them to stay. But this is where self-worth becomes a shield. When you know your value, you understand that you do not need to plead for recognition or chase after validation. Instead, you can stand firm in the knowledge that your worth is not diminished by their actions. Their inability to appreciate you does not define you, it defines them. This understanding does not mean ignoring your feelings or pretending not to care. The pain of being undervalued or ignored is real and valid. But even in that pain, it is crucial to remember that your value is not up for debate. You are deserving of love, respect, and appreciation simply because you exist. No one else has the power to take that away from you. Building a strong sense of self-worth requires shifting your focus inward. Instead of looking to others to validate your existence, start recognizing your own strengths, accomplishments, and unique qualities. Celebrate your growth, even if it goes unnoticed by others. Learn to enjoy your own company, pursue your passions, and set boundaries that protect your peace. The more you nurture your sense of self from within, the less dependent you will be on external approval. It's also important to surround yourself with people who uplift and value you. Relationships should be a source of mutual respect and support, not a place where you constantly have to prove your worth. If someone cannot see your value or suddenly withdraws from your life, it is a reflection of their journey, not a measure of your significance. Letting go of those who fail to appreciate you creates space for those who will. There is strength in understanding that your worth is non-negotiable. It allows you to navigate relationships from a place of confidence rather than insecurity. You no longer feel the need to cling to those who fail to see your value or fear losing their approval. Instead, you can walk away with grace, knowing that their recognition or lack thereof has no bearing on your inherent worth. At the heart of self-worth is self-love. Treat yourself with the same kindness, patience, and respect that you seek from others. Trust that your value remains even when others fail to acknowledge it. In doing so, you not only strengthen your sense of self, but also set the standard for how you deserve to be treated. Your worth is not dependent on external validation, it is a reflection of your inner truth. Never forget that. Questions are the gateway to clarity, yet so many of us fear asking them. We hesitate, holding back the words that could lead to understanding, because we dread the answers they might bring. But the truth is, living in a state of emotional limbo is far more draining than confronting the uncertainty that questions aim to resolve. The courage to seek the truth is a form of liberation, freeing us from the confusion and assumptions that keep us bound in mental and emotional turmoil. Many people avoid asking questions because they fear the truth. They worry that the answers might confirm their worst suspicions or force them to confront something they are not ready to face. This avoidance, however, only prolongs the pain. Living in uncertainty often means living in a state of hope mixed with dread. You hold on to the possibility that everything is fine while simultaneously fearing that it is not. This duality is exhausting and unsustainable. Asking the hard questions may be uncomfortable, but it is the only way to break free from this cycle. The act of questioning is not about accusing or demanding, it's about seeking understanding. It's about valuing yourself enough to want clarity and respecting the relationship or situation enough to pursue honesty. When you ask questions, you are showing that you care enough to address the issues directly rather than letting them fester. You are taking responsibility for your emotional well-being by seeking the information you need to make informed decisions. In this way, asking questions is not an act of fear, it is an act of strength. It's important to remember that the answers you receive, even if they are not what you hoped for, are a form of respect. The truth, no matter how difficult, provides a foundation to build upon. It allows you to face reality as it is, not as you imagine it to be. Clarity brings closure to uncertainty, giving you the power to address the situation with confidence. Without it, you are left guessing, which can lead to misunderstandings and further emotional distress. Asking questions also fosters growth. It encourages open communication and can reveal aspects of a situation or relationship that were previously hidden. It challenges assumptions and brings hidden feelings or motivations to light. While this process can be uncomfortable, it is also transformative. It allows for greater authenticity and depth in relationships, as both parties are encouraged to share openly and honestly. Clarity born of courage strengthens the bonds that matter and sheds light on those that do not. The act of questioning also requires a willingness to listen and accept the answers. Seeking clarity means being prepared for whatever truth comes your way. It's about prioritizing authenticity over comfort, even when the answers challenge your expectations or desires. This acceptance is key to moving forward. Whether the truth confirms your hopes or asks you to change course, it provides the information you need to take the next step. Living in emotional limbo is not sustainable. It drains your energy, occupies your thoughts, and prevents you from fully engaging with the present moment. By seeking clarity through questions, you reclaim your peace of mind and create space for resolution. You allow yourself the freedom to move forward, unburdened by doubt or confusion. In every uncertain situation, the questions you avoid are often the ones that hold the key to your freedom. What are you afraid to ask? What truths are you avoiding? Recognize that the answers, no matter how difficult, are not the enemy. They are the foundation of your growth, healing, and strength. By asking the right questions, you take control of your emotional journey, refusing to let fear or uncertainty dictate your path. Clarity is worth the discomfort of asking hard questions. It is a gift you give yourself, a declaration that your peace, understanding, and future are too valuable to be left in the hands of uncertainty. Trust in your ability to handle the truth, whatever it may be, and embrace the freedom that clarity brings. Growth often comes disguised in the form of pain, and nowhere is this truer than in the realm of relationships. When relationships face challenges, the resulting discomfort can feel overwhelming. Yet these trials hold the power to teach profound lessons about resilience, self-awareness, and the depth of our emotional capacities. While pain is never easy to endure, it can become a catalyst for personal transformation if approached with the right mindset. Pain in relationships often forces us to confront parts of ourselves that we might otherwise overlook. When conflicts arise or when trust is broken, our initial reaction might be to blame others or retreat into a place of self-protection. But these moments, painful as they are, offer an opportunity to look inward. They compel us to examine our own actions, emotions, and patterns. What role did we play in the dynamic? What unmet needs or unresolved issues are driving our responses? These questions, though difficult to face, are essential for self-awareness. Challenges can also reveal the strength we carry within us. Resilience is not something we are born with, it is developed through experience. When faced with emotional pain, we learn how to endure, adapt, and eventually heal. This process teaches us that we are stronger than we often give ourselves credit for. Each challenge overcome adds another layer to our emotional resilience, building the foundation for future relationships and experiences. Pain, when navigated with courage, becomes a teacher that equips us for life's inevitable uncertainties. Self-awareness and resilience go hand in hand. As we navigate the complexities of relationships, we begin to understand our triggers, boundaries, and needs more clearly. For instance, a disagreement might teach us about our communication style. Perhaps we realize we avoid conflict, or we tend to react defensively. Recognizing these tendencies allows us to make intentional changes, improving not only our relationships but also our overall emotional health. This growth is not about achieving perfection, but about becoming more attuned to who we are and how we interact with others. Pain also challenges our perspective, pushing us to grow beyond our comfort zones. It can be easy to see relationships in black and white, good or bad, successful or failed. However, challenges remind us that relationships are complex and multifaceted. They are not defined solely by moments of joy or harmony, but also by how we navigate the struggles. Each challenge is an opportunity to deepen our understanding of love, connection, and ourselves. It teaches us to embrace imperfection and recognize that growth often occurs in the messy, in-between spaces. In the midst of relational pain, it is common to question our worth or feel a sense of failure. However, these moments are precisely when we must anchor ourselves in the truth of our inherent value. Challenges do not diminish who we are, they reveal our capacity to grow and adapt. They remind us that our worth is not determined by the state of a relationship, but by the effort we put into understanding and improving ourselves. One of the most profound lessons that pain can teach is the importance of boundaries. Often it is through painful experiences that we learn what we will and will not accept in relationships. Boundaries are not walls meant to shut others out, they are guidelines that protect our well-being while fostering healthier connections. Setting boundaries requires self-awareness and courage, both of which are honed through the challenges we face. Relational pain can also deepen our empathy. Experiencing hardship makes us more attuned to the struggles of others. We become better equipped to listen, support, and connect on a deeper level. This empathy enriches not only our relationships but also our understanding of humanity as a whole. It reminds us that everyone carries their own burdens and that kindness and patience go a long way in building meaningful connections. Growth from pain is about transformation. It is about taking what feels like a setback and using it as a stepping stone. The lessons learned from relational challenges are not confined to the relationships themselves, they ripple out into every area of our lives. They teach us how to face adversity with grace, how to communicate more effectively, and how to prioritize our mental and emotional health. This process is neither linear nor immediate. Growth takes time, and healing requires patience. There will be moments of doubt, anger, and sadness. But within those moments lies the seed of transformation. Each step forward, no matter how small, is a testament to your resilience and commitment to becoming the best version of yourself. Pain, though uncomfortable, is not the enemy. It is a signal, a teacher, and a guide. It invites you to dig deeper, to reflect more honestly, and to grow more authentically. When approached with openness and courage, challenges in relationships become opportunities not only to strengthen the bonds you share with others, but to cultivate the most important relationship of all, the one you have with yourself. Through this growth, you emerge not just wiser, but also more resilient, more self-aware, and ultimately more whole. Moving forward doesn't mean you dismiss the emotions tied to your experience. It's natural to feel sadness, disappointment, or even anger when a relationship shifts or ends. These emotions are valid and deserve to be acknowledged. But moving forward means refusing to let those feelings define your journey. It's about recognizing that you are not confined by the pain of the present moment. Instead, you can use it as a stepping stone toward growth and self-discovery. Respecting yourself enough to move forward begins with understanding your inherent worth. Your value is not tied to the outcome of any relationship. It is not diminished because someone chose to leave or because circumstances changed. Too often we internalize the actions of others, believing they reflect something lacking in us. But the truth is, their choices are a reflection of their journey, not a measure of our worth. By holding on to this truth, you free yourself from the weight of unnecessary self-doubt and insecurity. Moving forward does not mean erasing the past, it means learning from it. Every relationship, whether it lasts a lifetime or only a season, teaches us something valuable. Perhaps it reveals patterns in how you communicate, or maybe it highlights areas where you can grow. These lessons are gifts, even if they come wrapped in pain. They equip you with the wisdom and resilience to navigate future relationships with greater clarity and confidence. Self-respect is a cornerstone of moving forward. It means setting boundaries that protect your emotional well-being and refusing to settle for less than you deserve. It means recognizing when a relationship no longer serves you and having the courage to let go, even when it's difficult. Walking away doesn't mean you don't care, it means you care enough about yourself to prioritize your peace and happiness. It's an act of self-love, a declaration that your time and energy are too valuable to be spent in places that drain you. Strength is not about never feeling weak, it's about rising despite those moments. It's about facing the uncertainty of moving forward and choosing to trust yourself anyway. You may not have all the answers, and that's okay. Strength is built one step at a time, one decision at a time. With each forward movement, you prove to yourself that you are capable of creating a life filled with joy, fulfillment, and purpose, no matter what challenges you face. Letting go of what no longer aligns with your journey creates space for new possibilities. Sometimes we cling to relationships or situations out of fear of being alone, fear of starting over, or fear of the unknown. But in holding on, we limit ourselves. Moving forward requires faith in the idea that what lies ahead can be just as beautiful, if not more so, than what we leave behind. It's a leap of faith, but one worth taking. Moving forward is an act of hope. It's a belief in your ability to create a better future, even if the path is unclear. It's trusting that every ending is also a beginning, and every challenge is an opportunity for growth. Whether you continue your journey with someone by your side or on your own, the direction you take is yours to choose. What matters most is that you honor yourself along the way. In life, relationships will challenge us, inspire us, and at times leave us questioning our path. But through every twist and turn, remember that your worth is not defined by the actions of others, nor by the seasons of change. True growth comes from embracing the lessons hidden within pain, seeking clarity in uncertainty, and moving forward with unwavering self-respect and resilience. Each challenge refines you, teaches you, and equips you for a brighter future. Whether you walk with someone or take steps on your own, the most important thing is to honor yourself and your journey. Thank you for allowing these words to inspire and guide you. Keep moving forward with strength, courage, and faith. Your path is yours to create, and your best days are ahead. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something about life. It's not about chasing, begging, or pleading. It's about knowing who you are and standing in that truth. Too often we're waiting for a sign, a call, or some validation to remind us we're enough. But here's the truth: you've been enough all along. The moment you understand your worth, you shift the balance of power. People are drawn to energy that's steady, confident, and self-assured. So stop second-guessing yourself. Stop replaying every conversation in your head, wondering if you said the wrong thing or if you could have done more. Because if you're sitting in that space, you're giving away your power. Here's what you do: step back. Not out of anger, not out of spite, but out of respect for yourself. Silence is not weakness, it's strength. It's a statement that says, I'm good whether you see my value or not. That's not arrogance, that's alignment. Shift your focus inward. Invest that energy in yourself. Read that book, take that class, or go for that walk. Let them see a version of you they can't forget, a version that doesn't just exist for their validation but thrives on its own. Faith is the secret ingredient. Faith in yourself, in the timing of life, and in the bigger picture. When you let go of the need to control how it happens, you create the space for it to happen naturally. Act as if you've already won. Carry yourself with the assurance that the call is coming, that the connection is real, and that you are worthy of it all. Because you are. When you operate like this, they'll feel your energy shift. And trust me, that phone will ring. Why? Because you stopped chasing, you stopped waiting, and in doing so, you became irresistible. Understanding your worth is the cornerstone of building the life you desire. It's not just a matter of believing that you are valuable, it's about truly recognizing the power and significance you bring to every room, every interaction, and every moment. When you understand your worth, you don't chase things that are not meant for you, and you certainly don't settle for less than what you deserve. You stand firm in the knowledge that you are enough, and in doing so, you unlock doors that were once closed. First, let's talk about confidence. Confidence isn't arrogance. It's not about putting others down or flaunting superiority. It's about a quiet assurance in who you are and what you can bring to the table. Confidence is magnetic. When you walk into a room with a clear sense of self, people are drawn to that energy. They may not even know why, but they will want to be around you, to learn from you, to collaborate with you. This magnetism doesn't come from external validation. It's rooted in the inner, knowing that you have something of value to offer. This is where many people fall short. They get caught up in seeking approval from others, waiting for the nod, the compliment, the recognition from someone else before they allow themselves to feel worthy. The truth is, you don't need anyone's permission to feel good about who you are. Your worth doesn't fluctuate based on what others think of you. It doesn't rise and fall with the opinions of the people around you. It is constant. It's as steady as the air you breathe. You don't need to prove yourself to anyone. You don't need to show off or over-explain your value. It speaks for itself. The most powerful thing you can do is to start respecting yourself, setting boundaries, and refusing to accept anything less than what you deserve. This doesn't mean being demanding or unrealistic. It means understanding that you are worthy of love, respect, opportunities, and success simply because you exist. When you recognize this truth, you will no longer settle for anything less. You won't entertain relationships, jobs, or situations that don't reflect your value. Your energy becomes selective. It's not about exclusion, it's about aligning with people and circumstances that honor who you are. Recognizing your worth also means owning your strengths and acknowledging your potential. Everyone has a unique set of talents, experiences, and perspectives that are needed in the world. Maybe you're an incredible communicator, an excellent problem solver, or a natural leader. Maybe you have a quiet strength that helps others feel safe and supported. Whatever it is, you must stop minimizing your gifts. The world needs them, and you need to recognize the impact they can have. When you understand your worth, you stop looking for external validation to fill the gaps within yourself. You stop waiting for others to tell you that you're good enough, that you deserve success, that you belong. You already know this, you've already internalized it. This is the foundation upon which confidence is built. Confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about being comfortable with who you are right now, flaws and all. The more you own your worth, the more that confidence will radiate outward, impacting everyone around you. Understanding your worth is also about accepting that you deserve to be treated well. It's about knowing that you're not here to play small, to shrink, or to apologize for your presence. You are not a placeholder in someone else's life. You are a powerful force with your own path, purpose, and value. When you truly recognize your worth, you make choices that align with the life you want to create, not the life others try to impose upon you. The reality is this: the moment you understand your worth, you start attracting the right people, opportunities, and experiences into your life. Your worth doesn't have to be proven through effort, hustle, or self-sacrifice. It's there, it's always been there. And once you recognize it, the world around you will begin to reflect that truth back to you in ways you never imagined. Confidence doesn't need to shout. It doesn't need to convince. It simply radiates, and in that radiance it becomes impossible for anyone or anything to ignore your power and value. Silence has an incredible power that many people fail to fully grasp. It's not about being passive or retreating into a shell. It's about deliberately choosing to withhold your energy, to pull back from a situation, and let your actions or lack thereof speak volumes. In a world that often values noise, constant communication, and external validation, Silence is an underappreciated but deeply impactful tool. There are moments in life where saying nothing at all can convey more than the most eloquent words ever could. Think about the times when you've been in a heated conversation, trying to make your point, but it feels like your words are falling on deaf ears. No matter how hard you try, no one seems to hear you. That's when silence becomes your most powerful ally. Sometimes the best response is no response. Instead of continuing to explain yourself or seek validation, you allow the situation to breathe without further interference. In those moments, your silence doesn't signify weakness or defeat, it signifies strength and control. You're no longer desperately chasing after approval or understanding from others. You're allowing them the space to process things on their own. Pulling back your energy is a subtle form of asserting boundaries. It's a statement that says, I will not waste my time chasing after something that isn't reciprocating the energy I'm putting out. In relationships, whether personal or professional, there are times when you give more than you receive, and that imbalance can drain you. But when you choose silence, you are reclaiming your energy. You are giving yourself the time and space to focus on what truly matters to you, rather than continuing to expend yourself in a one-sided dynamic. The act of pulling back is not about playing games or trying to manipulate the situation. It's not about forcing someone to notice you or make a move. It's about choosing your own peace over the chaos that may be surrounding you. When you withhold your energy in this way, you are communicating without saying a word that you value yourself enough to not chase after what's not meant for you. You are telling the universe, I am whole on my own. I do not need to exhaust myself to earn love, respect, or attention. Silence also has a way of highlighting the truth. When you stop speaking, you stop influencing the narrative. You give others the opportunity to reveal their true intentions and feelings, because they no longer have your words to hold on to. In the absence of your voice, their actions or lack thereof will speak louder than anything they could say. People often reveal more when they are not being prompted, when there is no pressure to perform or meet expectations. When you pull back, you allow space for authenticity to emerge. In the realm of communication, words are often seen as the primary tool for connection. But consider this: communication is not just about what is said, it's about the energy that is exchanged. Silence is a powerful form of communication because it carries weight. It forces both parties to confront what is unsaid, to reflect on what is being left out of the conversation. It challenges people to engage with the essence of the situation, rather than getting lost in the noise of superficial exchanges. Choosing silence, especially in moments of tension or uncertainty, can be a form of self-preservation. It prevents you from saying things you might later regret, and it gives you time to gather your thoughts and emotions. In moments where emotions are running high, words can easily become weapons. But silence offers a cooling period, a way to step back from the heat and reflect before reacting. It allows you to regain control of your own feelings, and in turn, it allows you to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Silence speaks louder than words because it embodies strength, clarity, and self-respect. It's an intentional decision to preserve your peace and to set boundaries. When you choose silence, you choose yourself, and that is a message that cannot be ignored. Reclaiming your power is about taking back control over your life, your emotions, and your energy. It's about recognizing that you are not at the mercy of external circumstances or the approval of others. The power to shape your reality, to determine your worth, and to create the life you desire lies within you. Yet too often, people find themselves waiting for something or someone to change before they can take the next step in their lives. Waiting by the phone, hoping for a call, a text, or some form of validation is a common practice many unknowingly engage in. But this waiting is a trap, one that keeps you stagnant and disconnected from your true potential. The moment you stop waiting for the outside world to tell you what's next, you unlock the freedom to move forward with your own purpose. When you are constantly looking outward, whether that be for affirmation, love, or recognition, you relinquish control over your own happiness and well-being. You become a passive observer, hoping that others will validate your existence or give you the answers you need. But real power comes when you shift your focus inward, when you stop waiting for someone else to tell you how worthy you are, and instead you remind yourself of your inherent value. The ability to generate happiness, to cultivate joy, and to pursue growth is entirely in your hands. When you realize this, you begin to reclaim your personal power. Prioritizing your own growth is a vital part of reclaiming your power. Growth isn't something that happens by accident or when circumstances are just right. It's a conscious decision, a daily commitment to becoming the best version of yourself. When you make growth a priority, you stop waiting for external factors to change. You begin to take control over what you can change: your mindset, your habits, and your environment. You invest in yourself, knowing that your own development is the most important thing you can focus on. Growth comes in many forms: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. It's not about achieving perfection, it's about progress. It's about learning, adapting, and continuing to move forward, no matter what life throws your way. Shifting your focus inward also means setting boundaries with the world around you. It means realizing that you do not need to give your time, energy, or attention to things that drain you or prevent you from moving forward. Too often, people become entangled in situations that don't serve their highest good, whether that be toxic relationships, unfulfilling jobs, or unhealthy habits. Reclaiming your power means letting go of what no longer serves you and consciously choosing what you allow into your life. You are not obligated to maintain relationships or commitments that leave you feeling exhausted, unappreciated, or undervalued. When you reclaim your power, you make decisions that honor your worth and protect your peace. Energetic attraction is the understanding that the universe responds to the energy you emit. What you attract into your life is not determined by how hard you chase after something, but by how in tune you are with your own essence. When you align with your true self, your desires, your values, and your purpose, you naturally draw to you the things, people, and opportunities that are meant for you. This is the essence of energetic attraction, recognizing that the right things for you are not a matter of chasing or forcing. They come naturally when you're in harmony with your own energy. The concept of chasing something implies desperation, a sense of lack, or a belief that something is out of reach. People often chase after love, success, recognition, or material possessions, thinking that if they just try hard enough, they'll obtain what they want. However, when you are constantly chasing, you're sending out a signal of need, of wanting, and that energy is one of lack. What you desire is not a reflection of scarcity, it is a reflection of abundance. And abundance is not something you need to chase after, it is something that aligns with your own frequency. When you shift from the mindset of chasing to that of alignment, you start to invite what is meant for you with ease. The law of attraction teaches that like attracts like. This means that the energy you put out into the world will attract similar energy back to you. When you are aligned with your true self, you radiate a certain energy that resonates with what you desire. If you are focused on living your best life, being authentic, and staying true to your values, you naturally attract people who align with that same energy. Whether it's love, friendship, opportunities, or success, what's meant for you will show up when you stop chasing and begin to align with the energy of your desires. You may find that as you let go of the need to chase, you experience a sense of peace. This is because you are no longer attached to outcomes. Instead, you are open to receiving whatever the universe brings, knowing that everything that comes into your life is either meant for you or teaching you something important. The moment you stop chasing, you create space for what's truly meant to be yours to come in naturally. You trust that the universe has a way of working things out that's far beyond your understanding, and you allow that process to unfold. Energetic attraction involves being patient. It's about trusting the timing of your life and understanding that things will come to you when you are truly ready for them. When you align with your desires, you stop rushing, pushing, or forcing things to happen. Instead, you trust the process, knowing that what's meant for you will come at the right time, in the right way, and in the right form. Energetic attraction is the art of allowing what's meant for you to flow into your life naturally. It's about shifting from a mindset of chasing to one of alignment. When you live authentically, trust in yourself, and stay connected to your true essence, everything you desire will find its way to you. It's not a matter of chasing after things, it's a matter of being in the right energy and allowing the universe to match that frequency with the things, people, and experiences you are destined to have. Faith in the outcome is the deep understanding that everything unfolds in perfect timing, and that the process is just as important as the destination. It's the belief that what's meant for you will come to you when you are ready to receive it, and that no amount of worry, stress, or impatience will accelerate that process. Trusting the process is not about having control over every detail or outcome, but about surrendering to the flow of life, knowing that the universe has a way of guiding you exactly where you need to be. It's about believing that if something is meant to be, it will manifest in your life, often in ways that you may not yet fully understand. In a world that constantly emphasizes action, productivity, and the need to control outcomes, having faith in the process can feel counterintuitive. We're often taught that success requires constant striving and effort. We're told to hustle, push harder, and never give up. While determination and hard work are important, they must be balanced with the understanding that there are things outside of your control, things that cannot be rushed or forced. True faith in the outcome comes from the realization that you are not alone in this journey, and that there is a greater force at play guiding you toward what's meant to be. Believing that the call will come, whether it's an opportunity, a relationship, or a breakthrough, means that you trust in the divine timing of your life. It means that you no longer need to chase or grasp at things. Instead, you align yourself with the belief that what's meant for you will find its way to you. It's about releasing any need to constantly check your phone, email, or inbox for a sign that things are moving in the right direction. When you trust in the outcome, you understand that the right people, opportunities, and experiences will show up at exactly the right time. The key is to trust the waiting period without losing hope or faith. Trusting the process requires patience. It's easy to become frustrated or discouraged when things don't seem to be moving as quickly as you would like. But growth and progress often happen behind the scenes in ways that you cannot always see or comprehend. The time spent in waiting is not wasted. It's a time of preparation, learning, and building inner strength. Just as a seed takes time to grow into a tree, your dreams and desires need time to come to fruition. The process of waiting is not a sign of stagnation, it's a necessary part of your journey. Faith in the outcome is also about accepting uncertainty. Life is full of unknowns, and sometimes the path forward is unclear. However, by having faith, you relinquish the need for certainty and embrace the unknown with trust. You stop stressing about how things will unfold and begin to focus on the present moment. When you trust the process, you release your attachment to the outcome and allow life to surprise you. You recognize that things may not always go according to your plans, but that doesn't mean the result won't be even better than you imagined. Furthermore, faith in the outcome is the understanding that rejection and setbacks are part of the journey. Sometimes what you think you want is not what you actually need, and the universe has a way of redirecting you towards something even greater. When you trust the process, you accept that delays or rejections are simply stepping stones, not roadblocks. They are opportunities for growth, redirection, and learning. Every no takes you one step closer to the right yes. When you trust that everything is working out for your highest good, you are able to move through setbacks with grace and resilience. Another crucial element of having faith in the outcome is believing in your own worth and abilities. Trusting the process requires you to trust yourself. It means that you believe you are deserving of success, love, and all the good things that are coming your way. Faith in the outcome is a reflection of self-belief. You trust that the right opportunities will come to you because you are ready for them, and you are capable of handling whatever comes next. Faith in the outcome is about surrendering to the flow of life and trusting that things are unfolding as they should. It's about believing that if something is meant for you, It will come to you in its own time, in its own way. The key is to remain patient, stay aligned with your vision, and trust the process, knowing that every step, every pause, and every delay is an essential part of your journey. The call will come. You just have to trust that when the time is right, it will be exactly what you need. To act as if you've already won is to embody the energy of success, abundance, and fulfillment even before the tangible results show up in your life. It's about walking through the world with the confidence and self-assurance that what you desire is already on its way to you. This mindset goes beyond wishful thinking. It's a powerful shift in perspective that aligns your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the reality you are manifesting. When you carry yourself as if you've already achieved your goals, you signal to the universe that you are ready, deserving, and open to receiving everything that's meant for you. The first step in acting as if you've already won is to recognize the importance of self-belief. It's not enough to merely hope for success or wish that things will get better. True transformation begins with the belief that you are worthy of everything you desire. This belief isn't based on external validation or circumstances. It comes from within. When you know in your heart that you deserve what you're seeking, you naturally start to exude an energy of confidence and assurance. You carry yourself in a way that reflects this inner knowing, regardless of where you are in your journey. People will begin to notice your presence, your calmness, and your poise, and they will be drawn to your energy. This sense of assurance comes from living with the mindset that your desires are already fulfilled. Imagine what it would feel like to already have the connection, career, or opportunity that you seek. How would you walk? What would your posture be like? How would you interact with others? When you begin to adopt these behaviors, carrying yourself with the confidence and certainty that your desires are already yours, you begin to change not just how you present yourself to the world, but also how the world responds to you. Acting as if you've already won aligns you with the vibration of your desires, drawing those things into your life faster. Carrying yourself with this assurance also means taking inspired action. It's not about sitting back and waiting for things to fall into your lap. It's about moving through life with purpose, knowing that the right people, opportunities, and circumstances will align with your efforts. When you act as if you've already won, you make decisions and take actions as though success is inevitable. You no longer second-guess yourself or hesitate because you know that what you desire is already within reach. This boldness in action creates momentum and attracts the people and opportunities that resonate with your energy. Acting as if you've already won also creates a ripple effect in your relationships. When you walk through life with assurance, others are drawn to your energy. People are naturally attracted to those who exude confidence, self-love, and authenticity. Your interactions become more aligned, and you begin to attract individuals who share your vision, values, and energy. Your relationships deepen, and your connections become more meaningful because you are not seeking validation or approval from others. You are whole and complete in yourself. And this sense of self-assurance creates a magnetic energy that draws like-minded people into your life. Acting as if you've already won is about embodying the belief that what you want is already yours. It's not about pretending or faking it, but about stepping into the energy of already having what you desire. When you carry yourself with this level of assurance, you align your thoughts, feelings, and actions with the reality you wish to create. You become a magnet for everything you want, because you are already vibrating at the frequency of your desires. The more you act as if you've already won, the more you begin to see your desires manifest in the world around you. In conclusion, carrying yourself with the assurance that your desires are already fulfilled is a powerful shift that transforms not only how you present yourself, but also how the universe responds to you. By acting as if you've already won, you align your energy with success, confidence, and abundance, attracting the right people, opportunities, and circumstances into your life. This mindset allows you to stay grounded in your vision, trust the process, and take inspired action, all while maintaining peace and patience as you wait for the world to match your internal reality. Remember, true transformation begins within. And when you embody the belief that what you desire is already yours, you unlock the power to manifest it into your life. Thank you for joining me today and taking the time to listen. Keep embodying the assurance of your success and watch how your life begins to change in ways you never thought possible. Stay confident, stay aligned, and trust in your journey. Ladies and gentlemen, let me paint a picture for you. You're standing at the edge of a cliff, the wind howling, the ground beneath you shaky. That's what betrayal feels like, doesn't it? It's disorienting, it's painful, and most of all, it's revealing. Now, I need you to hear me, not with your ears, but with your heart. Because what I'm about to say isn't just about relationships, it's about you, your value, your peace, your future. If your partner has done these three things, let me tell you, do not, I repeat, do not give them another chance. If they've lied to your face, they've stolen something from you, your trust. Trust is fragile. It's not something you patch up with a Band-Aid apology. A lie is a crack in the foundation, and no house stands tall when its base is broken. Second, if they've disrespected you, whether through words, actions, or neglect, they've shown you exactly how little they value what you bring to the table. And listen to me, disrespect is a slippery slope. You let it slide once, and it becomes a pattern. Third, if they betrayed you, whether emotionally, physically, or spiritually, that is a deal breaker. Betrayal isn't a mistake, it's a choice. A choice that says, I value my desires over our bond, and anyone who makes that choice doesn't deserve a place in your life. Now I know what you're thinking, but I love them. Love is powerful, yes, but love without respect and trust is poison. You can't keep drinking it, hoping it'll turn into medicine. Stand tall. Walk away if you must. Not because you're giving up, but because you're giving into the truth. The truth that you deserve better. This isn't about revenge or anger, it's about boundaries. It's about recognizing that second chances don't apply to patterns of destruction. If someone has shown you who they are, believe them. Because at the end of the day, your life is yours. And the greatest act of love you can ever show is the love you give to yourself. Trust is the invisible thread that holds a relationship together, the foundation upon which everything else is built. Without it, no amount of love, passion, or shared memories can sustain a partnership. Trust is not just a luxury in a relationship, it is a necessity, as vital as air to breathe and water to drink. It is the silent agreement that assures two people they can be vulnerable, authentic, and open without fear of betrayal or deceit. When trust is present, love flourishes. When it is absent, love becomes a fragile, flickering flame struggling to survive against the winds of doubt and suspicion. When two people come together, they bring with them their pasts, their hopes, and their fears. Trust is the bridge that allows them to cross these divides and connect deeply. It is the belief that the other person has your best interests at heart, even when things are difficult. Trust doesn't mean perfection or an absence of mistakes, rather. It means consistency, honesty, and a willingness to repair when things go wrong. It is the quiet confidence that your partner will keep their promises, that their words and actions align, and that their intentions are pure. Without trust, even the strongest love can falter. Imagine a house built on unsteady ground. No matter how beautifully it is constructed, it will eventually crack and crumble under the pressure of instability. Similarly, a relationship without trust might look fine on the surface, but beneath it lies a growing sense of uncertainty that can erode the bond between two people. This erosion often starts small, a white lie here, a broken promise there, but over time it becomes a chasm that is nearly impossible to bridge. When trust is broken, the pain runs deep. It is not just about the specific act of betrayal, whether it be a lie, an affair, or some other form of dishonesty. It is about the loss of the sense of safety and security that trust provides. Suddenly, the person you once felt most connected to feels like a stranger. Doubts creep in, turning every conversation, every glance, into an opportunity for suspicion. The emotional toll is immense, affecting not only your relationship but your sense of self-worth and your ability to trust others in the future. Rebuilding trust, while possible, is one of the hardest things to achieve in a relationship. It requires time, patience, and an extraordinary amount of effort from both parties. The person who broke the trust must show consistent, genuine accountability and a willingness to make amends. The person who was hurt must decide whether they are willing and able to forgive and move forward. But even with the best intentions, the scars of broken trust can linger, creating a relationship that is never quite the same as it once was. This is why protecting and nurturing trust is so crucial. Trust is built in the small moments of everyday life through honest conversations, acts of kindness, and the consistent demonstration of care and integrity. It grows when you honor your commitments, when you show up not just physically but emotionally, and when you prioritize your partner's well-being alongside your own. Trust is not a grand gesture. It is a series of small, intentional choices made over time. It's also important to recognize that trust is a two-way street. Just as you need to trust your partner, you must also strive to be trustworthy yourself. This means being honest even when it's uncomfortable. It means communicating openly and clearly and taking responsibility for your actions. It means respecting your partner's boundaries and showing them, through both words and deeds, that you value and cherish their trust. Some might argue that love is enough to sustain a relationship, even when trust has been damaged. But love without trust is like a beautiful flower in a vase. It may look vibrant for a time, but without roots, it will inevitably wither and die. Trust is what allows love to grow strong and resilient, able to weather the storms of life. It is what turns love from a fleeting feeling into a lasting bond. Trust is not just about the relationship, it is about the individuals within it. A relationship built on trust allows both people to feel seen, heard, and valued. It creates a space where vulnerability is met with compassion, where mistakes are met with understanding, and where challenges are met with teamwork. It is the foundation upon which true intimacy and connection are built. Without trust, a relationship becomes a shadow of what it could be. With it, love has the chance to thrive in its fullest, most beautiful form. Trust is not just the foundation of a relationship, it is its heart, its soul, and its greatest strength. Betrayal is one of the most profound wounds a person can endure in a relationship. It is more than just an act of dishonesty or a broken promise. It is a declaration of disregard for the very core of the bond between two people. Betrayal, in its essence, is not just about the action, it's about what the action reveals. When someone betrays you, they are not simply making a mistake, they are exposing a deeper truth about their character, priorities, and values. Trust in a relationship is built on a foundation of shared respect and understanding. When betrayal occurs, it is like a hammer striking that foundation, leaving cracks that are difficult, if not impossible, to repair. Whether it's infidelity, deceit, or abandonment in a moment of need, betrayal goes beyond the surface act. It speaks volumes about the betrayer's inability or unwillingness to honor the commitment they made. It shows a lack of empathy, integrity, and self-control. Actions that shatter trust are not isolated incidents, they are symptoms of deeper flaws in a person's character. What makes betrayal so painful is that it violates the very essence of safety and connection in a relationship. When you trust someone, you allow yourself to be vulnerable. You share your hopes, dreams, and fears, believing that this person will honor and protect them. Betrayal takes that vulnerability and exploits it, leaving you feeling exposed and broken. It is not just about the hurt caused by the act itself, but the realization that the person you trusted is capable of causing such pain. Betrayal reveals selfishness. It shows that the betrayer prioritizes their desires, impulses, or ego above the well-being of the person they claim to care about. For example, infidelity is not just about seeking physical gratification, it is about disregarding the emotional devastation it will cause. Lying is not just about avoiding consequences, it is about manipulating someone's perception of reality for personal gain. These actions are rooted in a mindset that values self-interest over honesty and respect. Betrayal highlights a lack of accountability. People who betray often try to justify their actions, shifting blame or minimizing the impact of their choices. They might say things like, "It was just a mistake," or "I didn't mean to hurt you." While mistakes are human, betrayal is rarely an accident. It is a conscious decision to prioritize something else, be it desire, fear, or convenience, over the trust and bond shared with another person. This unwillingness to take responsibility only deepens the wound and reinforces the character flaw at play. Another truth about betrayal is that it reveals a person's inconsistency. True character is demonstrated not in words but in actions. Someone who betrays may have spoken of love, loyalty, and commitment, but their actions contradict those promises. This disconnect between words and actions is a clear indicator of a deeper flaw, a lack of authenticity, and alignment between what they claim to be and who they truly are. It is in moments of betrayal that the mask slips and their true nature is exposed. The pain of betrayal often leads the person who was hurt to question themselves. They might wonder, was it my fault? Could I have done something differently? But it's important to remember that betrayal is never a reflection of your worth or actions. It is a reflection of the betrayer's character. Their choices are about them, not you. Recognizing this distinction is crucial for healing and moving forward. Forgiveness is a noble concept, and rebuilding trust after betrayal is sometimes possible. However, it requires more than apologies and promises. It demands a complete transformation of the character flaw that led to the betrayal in the first place. This is a monumental task, and many are unwilling or incapable of undertaking it. A relationship can only survive betrayal if both parties are willing to do the hard work of rebuilding trust and addressing the root cause of the breach. Still, it's essential to ask yourself a hard question. Even if trust can be rebuilt, do you want to stay with someone who has shown you their capacity for betrayal? Betrayal is not just a momentary lapse in judgment, it is a window into a person's priorities and values. Choosing to forgive does not mean you have to continue the relationship. Sometimes the greatest act of self-respect is walking away from someone who has shown they cannot be trusted. Betrayal is a powerful teacher. It teaches you about the fragility of trust, the importance of boundaries, and the value of self-respect. It also reveals the true character of the person who betrayed you. Actions that shatter trust are not isolated missteps, they are evidence of deeper flaws that may continue to manifest in the future. Recognizing this truth allows you to protect yourself and make choices that honor your worth and well-being. Trust, once broken, can sometimes be repaired, but the character flaws revealed by betrayal are not so easily erased. Self-respect is the cornerstone of a healthy, fulfilling life. It is the recognition of your intrinsic value and the unwavering commitment to honoring yourself, no matter the circumstances. In relationships, self-respect sets the tone for how others treat you. It establishes boundaries, communicates standards, and ensures that your worth is never compromised. However, when you accept certain behaviors that undermine your dignity, you unknowingly diminish your own value over time. Allowing disrespect, mistreatment, or disregard chips away at your sense of self, leaving you feeling diminished and undervalued. Accepting unacceptable behavior often begins subtly. It might start with excusing a harsh word, overlooking a broken promise, or rationalizing an instance of neglect. You tell yourself it's just this once, or they didn't mean it. But each time you let such behavior slide, you send a message to yourself and to the other person that your boundaries are flexible, that your feelings are secondary, and that your self-worth is negotiable. Over time, these small compromises accumulate, eroding your confidence and self-esteem. What you tolerate becomes the standard, and before you realize it, you're trapped in a cycle of disrespect. One of the most dangerous aspects of accepting harmful behavior is the normalization of it. The human mind has an incredible capacity to adapt, even to negative situations. What feels unacceptable at first can, over time, start to feel ordinary. You might convince yourself that it's not that bad or that everyone has flaws. While it's true that no one is perfect, there is a significant difference between imperfection and consistent disregard for your feelings and boundaries. When you allow others to cross those lines repeatedly, you begin to internalize the idea that you don't deserve better. The long-term effects of accepting disrespectful behavior can be devastating. Each instance of compromise chips away at your sense of self-worth, leaving you questioning your value and doubting your decisions. You might start to feel as though your voice doesn't matter or that standing up for yourself will only lead to conflict. This mindset can seep into other areas of your life, affecting your confidence at work, in friendships, and even in your personal goals. The more you accept behavior that diminishes your worth, the more you lose touch with the strong, capable person you truly are. Self-respect is not about arrogance or selfishness, it's about recognizing your worth and refusing to settle for less than you deserve. It's about setting boundaries and enforcing them, even when it's uncomfortable or inconvenient. Boundaries are not walls meant to keep people out, they are guidelines that define how you expect to be treated and how you will treat others. When you have strong boundaries, you communicate to the world that you value yourself and that you expect others to value you as well. One of the hardest parts of maintaining self-respect is the fear of losing people. You might worry that standing up for yourself will push others away, or that refusing to tolerate certain behaviors will leave you alone. But the truth is, the people who truly care about you will respect your boundaries, and the ones who don't were never meant to stay in your life. Letting go of toxic relationships is not a loss. It is again a step toward a healthier, happier life where you surround yourself with people who uplift and respect you. Respecting yourself also means being willing to walk away from situations and relationships that no longer serve you. This doesn't mean you have to abandon every relationship at the first sign of trouble, but it does mean recognizing patterns of behavior that are harmful and addressing them. If those behaviors persist despite your efforts to communicate and set boundaries, then self-respect demands that you prioritize your well-being and move on. Staying in a relationship where your worth is continually undermined is not an act of loyalty, it is an act of self-betrayal. The foundation of self-respect lies in self-awareness and self-compassion. You must take the time to understand your own needs, values, and boundaries. What are the behaviors you consider unacceptable? What standards do you hold for yourself and others? Once you have clarity, you must be compassionate with yourself in enforcing these boundaries. It's natural to feel guilty or uncertain at times, but remember that every step you take towards self-respect is a step toward a more authentic and fulfilling life. Accepting disrespectful behavior is a form of settling. It's telling yourself that this is the best you can do, even when your heart knows you deserve more. Self-respect requires courage, the courage to stand up for yourself, to demand better, and to walk away when necessary. It's not always easy, but it is always worth it. When you choose self-respect, you reclaim your power, honor your worth, and set the stage for a life filled with relationships and experiences that reflect the incredible value you bring to the world. Promises can be captivating. They are filled with hope, laden with the potential for change, and often delivered with the kind of sincerity that makes you want to believe. But promises, no matter how heartfelt, are ultimately empty if they are not followed by consistent actions. In relationships, it is not words that define someone's character, it is their patterns. People reveal who they are not through fleeting apologies or grand declarations, but through the behaviors they repeat over time. To build trust and maintain respect, you must learn to look beyond promises and focus on patterns. Patterns are the truth tellers of relationships. They reflect what a person values, how they prioritize their commitments, and how they respond to challenges. While anyone can apologize after making a mistake, the real question is whether that mistake becomes a lesson or a habit. An apology might soothe the immediate pain of disappointment, but only changed behavior proves that the apology was genuine. Without change, apologies become hollow words, a cycle of hurt and temporary relief that ultimately leads nowhere. When someone makes a promise, it often feels like a gesture of hope. They are acknowledging their mistake and committing to doing better. This can be comforting, especially when you want to believe in the relationship. But a promise is only as meaningful as the actions that follow. If someone repeatedly breaks promises, it is not because they are incapable of keeping them. It is because they lack the willingness or discipline to prioritize their words with actions. Over time, this pattern of broken promises erodes trust and undermines the foundation of the relationship. It's important to recognize that patterns are not accidental. They are deliberate choices repeated over time. For instance, if someone consistently disrespects your boundaries despite apologizing each time, the pattern reveals a lack of respect for your needs. If they repeatedly make commitments they don't keep, the pattern shows a disregard for the importance of reliability. Patterns are the blueprint of a person's character, and ignoring them in favor of promises sets you up for continued disappointment. One of the most damaging aspects of focusing on promises instead of patterns is the toll it takes on your self-esteem. When you allow someone to repeatedly let you down, you may start to internalize the belief that your feelings, needs, or boundaries are not important. You might begin to question your own worth, wondering if you are asking for too much or being unreasonable. This self-doubt can lead you to lower your standards and accept less than you deserve, perpetuating a cycle of unmet expectations and emotional pain. Evaluating patterns over promises requires a level of emotional clarity and self-awareness. It means paying attention to how someone shows up in your life, not just what they say. Are their actions consistent with their words? Do they make an effort to change harmful behaviors, or do they rely on apologies to pacify you? By focusing on patterns, you gain a clearer understanding of who they truly are, rather than who they claim to be or who you hope they might become. It's also essential to understand the difference between a mistake and a pattern. Everyone makes mistakes, it's part of being human. A single misstep followed by genuine effort to make amends and change is not the same as a repeated cycle of harmful behavior. Patterns emerge when mistakes are repeated, and no meaningful effort is made to address the underlying issues. The key is to look for consistency in actions, not isolated incidents or promises of change. Choosing to prioritize patterns over promises is an act of self-respect. It means valuing yourself enough to expect integrity and consistency from those around you. It's about setting boundaries and holding others accountable for their actions. This doesn't mean you have to be harsh or unforgiving, but it does mean recognizing when someone's behavior is not aligning with their words and taking appropriate steps to protect your well-being. It can be difficult to accept that someone you care about is showing you through their patterns that they are not capable or willing to meet your expectations. There may be moments when you want to believe their promises, hoping that this time will be different. But hope is not a strategy for building healthy relationships. It is the actions repeated, consistent, and aligned with respect and care that create the foundation for trust and mutual respect. Focusing on patterns over promises empowers you to make decisions based on reality rather than wishful thinking. It allows you to see people for who they truly are, not who they say they will be. This clarity is a gift, enabling you to invest your time, energy, and love in relationships that honor your worth and contribute to your growth. When you choose to value actions over words, you take a stand for your own dignity, ensuring that the relationships you nurture are built on a foundation of trust, respect, and integrity. Boundaries are an essential aspect of a healthy and fulfilling life. They are not barriers to keep people out, but expressions of self-respect, self-awareness, and emotional strength. Boundaries communicate what you will and will not accept, ensuring that your relationships and interactions are rooted in mutual respect and understanding. Far from being a sign of weakness, boundaries are a testament to your strength. They reflect your ability to honor your needs while maintaining respect for others. In a world that often rewards self-sacrifice and people-pleasing, setting boundaries is an act of courage and self-preservation. Boundaries are a declaration of your worth. When you set clear limits on how you expect to be treated, you send a powerful message to yourself and others: I value myself enough to protect my well-being. This is not about selfishness or arrogance. It is about recognizing your intrinsic value and ensuring that you are not diminished by the actions or behaviors of others. Without boundaries, you risk becoming a vessel for other people's needs, expectations, and demands, often at the expense of your own emotional health. One of the greatest misconceptions about boundaries is that they are selfish or hurtful to others. In reality, boundaries are an act of kindness, both to yourself and those around you. They provide clarity in relationships, eliminating guesswork and fostering open communication. When you establish what is acceptable and what is not, you create an environment where expectations are clear and misunderstandings are minimized. This transparency strengthens relationships, as it allows both parties to navigate interactions with mutual understanding and respect. The absence of boundaries, on the other hand, often leads to resentment and burnout. When you consistently tolerate behaviors that conflict with your values or comfort, you begin to feel unappreciated and taken for granted. Over time, this resentment can erode the quality of your relationships, leading to frustration and emotional exhaustion. By setting boundaries, you prevent these negative outcomes, ensuring that your interactions are balanced and reciprocal. It takes strength to set boundaries, especially in a culture that often equates selflessness with virtue. Saying no or asserting your needs can feel uncomfortable, particularly if you fear conflict or rejection. However, the discomfort of setting boundaries is a small price to pay for the peace and fulfillment that comes from living authentically. It is a reminder that your emotional health and self-respect are worth prioritizing, even if it means disappointing others. Establishing boundaries is also an exercise in self-awareness. To set effective limits, you must first understand your own values, priorities, and emotional triggers. What behaviors are you unwilling to tolerate? What actions make you feel disrespected or undervalued? By reflecting on these questions, you gain clarity on what you need to feel safe, respected, and supported. This self-awareness not only helps you set boundaries, but also empowers you to communicate them effectively. Boundaries are not just about saying no, they are about defining the terms of your engagement with the world. For example, setting boundaries might mean limiting your availability to protect your time, refusing to engage in conversations that feel disrespectful, or stepping away from situations that compromise your emotional well-being. These acts are not about rejecting others, but about affirming yourself. They are a way of ensuring that you are treated with the dignity and respect you deserve. It is important to recognize that boundaries are not static, they evolve with your growth and changing circumstances. What you are willing to tolerate in one phase of your life may no longer be acceptable as you gain confidence and self-awareness. This fluidity is a natural part of personal growth, reflecting your increasing understanding of your needs and values. Revisiting and adjusting your boundaries is a sign of strength, as it demonstrates your commitment to living in alignment with your true self. Implementing boundaries requires clear and compassionate communication. People cannot honor your limits if they do not know what they are. When communicating your boundaries, it is important to be direct yet respectful. For example, instead of saying, "You always disrespect my time," you might say, "I need to feel that my time is valued, so I would appreciate it if we could stick to agreed upon schedules." This approach emphasizes your needs without attacking the other person, fostering a constructive dialogue. Some people may resist or challenge your boundaries, especially if they have benefited from your lack of them in the past. This resistance can be difficult to navigate, but it is a test of your resolve. Standing firm in the face of pushback is a powerful affirmation of your strength and self-worth. Remember, boundaries are not about controlling others, they are about taking control of your own life and ensuring that your well-being is not compromised. Boundaries are an act of self-love. They protect your emotional health, honor your values, and ensure that your relationships are rooted in mutual respect. By setting and maintaining boundaries, you create a life that reflects your worth and fosters genuine connection. It is not always easy, but it is always worth it. Boundaries are the foundation of a balanced and fulfilling life, a testament to the strength and self-respect that define who you are. Love, at its core, is meant to be a force that uplifts, supports, and enriches your life. It should never be something that tears you down, leaves you feeling diminished, or causes you pain. Yet, in the name of love, many people tolerate behaviors and situations that undermine their self-worth and emotional well-being. True love is not about suffering or sacrifice. at the expense of yourself. It is about mutual respect, care, and growth. When love becomes toxic, it ceases to be love and transforms into something harmful, a shadow of what it is meant to be. Healthy love uplifts because it is rooted in respect. Respect is the foundation of any relationship that seeks to thrive. It means valuing each other's feelings, boundaries, and individuality. In a healthy relationship, both partners are equals, contributing to a dynamic where each feels safe and valued. There is no room for control, manipulation, or disregard. Instead, the relationship becomes a space where both people feel free to express themselves, pursue their goals, and grow as individuals and as a couple. Toxic love, on the other hand, is marked by patterns that erode self-esteem and happiness. It often begins subtly, with small acts of control, criticism, or neglect that grow over time. Before long, these behaviors create an environment of fear, insecurity, and doubt. Toxic love thrives on imbalance. One partner dominates while the other sacrifices. Instead of feeling uplifted, you may find yourself questioning your worth, walking on eggshells, or constantly trying to prove your love or earn the other person's approval. One of the most painful aspects of toxic love is its ability to distort your perception of what love should be. If you have been hurt in the name of love, you might begin to equate love with struggle or pain. You may convince yourself that enduring mistreatment is a sign of commitment, or that love requires you to tolerate things that diminish your happiness. This is not love. This is a harmful narrative that keeps you trapped in a cycle of emotional suffering. Real love does not hurt. It does not demand that you give up your sense of self to keep someone else happy. In healthy love, conflict is resolved with kindness and understanding, not blame or hostility. Disagreements are inevitable in any relationship, but the way they are handled reveals the nature of the connection. In a healthy relationship, conflict becomes an opportunity to understand each other better and find solutions that work for both partners. Toxic love, however, weaponizes conflict, using it as a tool to belittle, control, or manipulate. This creates an environment where you feel unheard and invalidated, further deepening the emotional damage. Healthy love also celebrates your individuality. It encourages you to pursue your passions, maintain your friendships, and honor your personal goals. A healthy partner recognizes that you are a whole person, not an extension of them. Toxic love, by contrast, seeks to control or diminish your individuality. It may involve jealousy, possessiveness, or an expectation that you give up parts of yourself to accommodate the other person. Over time, this can lead to a loss of identity, making it difficult to recognize who you are outside of the relationship. One of the clearest signs of healthy love is how it makes you feel about yourself. In a healthy relationship, you feel valued, cherished, and supported. Your partner celebrates your successes, comforts you in times of struggle, and treats you with kindness and respect. Toxic love, however, often leaves you feeling anxious, insecure, or unworthy. Instead of building you up, it tears you down, creating a cycle of pain that is difficult to escape. It is important to remember that love should never be a justification for mistreatment. No amount of love can excuse disrespect, manipulation, or abuse. True love is not about enduring pain. It is about creating a partnership that uplifts both people involved. If love is causing you more harm than happiness, it is not love. It is a toxic dynamic that needs to be addressed or ended. Choosing to walk away from toxic love is an act of self-preservation and self-respect. It is not easy, especially when emotions are involved, but it is necessary for your well-being. Healthy love will never ask you to compromise your dignity, self-worth, or happiness. It will never require you to endure pain or tolerate behaviors that hurt you. Letting go of toxic love opens the door to a healthier, more fulfilling future where you can experience the kind of love that truly uplifts and nurtures you. Love should be a source of joy, comfort, and growth. It should inspire you to become the best version of yourself and provide a safe space where you feel valued and cherished. Love should never make you feel small, inadequate, or hurt. When love is healthy, it becomes a foundation for a life of happiness and fulfillment. Anything less than that is not worth holding on to. Healthy love uplifts, toxic love tears you down. Choose to embrace the love that honors your worth. In conclusion, love is meant to be a force that uplifts, nurtures, and strengthens. It thrives on respect, trust, and the mutual willingness to grow and support each other. Healthy love inspires joy and self-discovery, while toxic love erodes self-worth and creates a cycle of pain. By setting boundaries, valuing consistent actions over empty promises, and prioritizing self-respect, you honor your worth and ensure that love in your life aligns with your highest values. Remember, true love never tears you down, it builds you up, celebrates your individuality, and adds to your happiness. Thank you for taking the time to reflect on this message. Here's to choosing love that uplifts and empowers. Stay strong and stay true to yourself.